Hey everyone, Lindsay here with Sunshine Canine Training. The protocol you're about to see is waiting for food. I do this with all the dogs that come in. They wait for their food every time. It's important to know that we're not withholding food from them. We're just waiting for them to sit and kind of relax before we give them their food. This way they're not rushing the food bowl, they're not knocking things out of your hands, and it also just creates a little bit of respect. So the first dog I go through this with is Octane. He's a min pin. He's about 15 pounds, and some of his issues include pulling on the leash, major reactivity. He marks all over the house, so does his pal Diesel, but I don't show him. And he also fights with his housemate, so there's not really an established leadership role. And if there is, it's really fuzzy, so they take matters into their own hands a lot. So this is just another protocol that helps with maintaining leadership or creating that leadership if it doesn't exist.
Good boy.
The next dog is Rue. She's a German Shepherd. She is very reactive on the leash, but otherwise okay with her commands. She doesn't like to remain in command, so that's some of the issues that she has. And just creating that extra step into her life. So it's a lifestyle. So dog training is not 15 minutes a day, it's a whole lifestyle. So when we feed them, when we let them out of the kennel, when we put them back in the kennel, everything leads to a more structured life for the dogs so that they're actually listening better. We hold them accountable, they know what's expected of them, things like that. So it's been about a week and most of these dogs know that they're supposed to wait for their food. And then there's Freya. So Freya's she's the brindle-looking dog. She's like a Dutch Shepherd-looking dog. She's actually a super fearful dog. There's question as to whether or not she was feral when she was acquired, and she is scared of everything. But when I come in to feed her, she's like, oh yeah, she's all about that. So she would just brush the food bowl at first. So she still struggles a little bit. You notice, like, I try to pick up the camera and show her. She is a great dog, but she's really afraid of a lot of things. But when we're in the kennel and it's time to eat, she'll do anything to eat that food. So it's really cool to see that. It's a different dog when she's out on a leash, but when she's in the kennel, she's ready. She's ready to eat. believe it or not, you can do the same thing with your 8-week-old puppy. This video of Wyatt is he's about a little over 9 weeks in this video here, but he waits for his food. They just get it. When you hold the food bowl up, they tend to just sit down. Sometimes you have to be a little more patient, especially if dogs are used to just rushing to that food bowl to eat or knocking it out of your hands. Make sure you're holding it on tight because sometimes kibble flies everywhere. Fortunately, that doesn't happen here, but it will occasionally, so be mindful of that as you're practicing this. And I usually say break or I say okay, and then I slide the food bowl towards the dog so that they can actually eat. So be sure to practice that. You can do this with dogs that are 8 weeks old, 10 weeks old, super young, middle-aged, super old. It doesn't matter. All the dogs can do this, and it's a great way to create more leadership in your dog's life. So guys, if you practice this every day, whenever you feed your dog, if you feed your dog twice a day, you can practice this twice. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty easy thing to do to help establish leadership. And it's once you get it down, the dogs will just sit and wait for their food. It's pretty great. So try it out. Let me know how it goes, and I hope this was helpful.